One day, the flea, the grasshopper, and the skipjack decided to hold a contest to determine who could jump the highest. They invited the whole world, and anyone else who wished to attend, to witness the grand spectacle. The three renowned jumpers gathered in the royal court, eager to prove their skill. "I shall give my daughter in marriage to the one who jumps the highest," declared the king. After all, it would be unfair to let them compete for nothing. The flea was the first to step forward. With elegant manners, he bowed in all directions, for he had noble blood. Having lived among humans and feasted on the finest of ladies, he was used to high society, and that, he believed, gave him an advantage. Next came the grasshopper. Though he was heavier than the flea, he had a good figure and proudly wore the green uniform he was born with. He boasted of his ancient lineage, claiming descent from an esteemed family in Egypt. "I have just come from the fields," he said, "where I lived in a magnificent 3-story card house. It was made entirely of picture cards, with windows cut from the body of the Queen of Hearts." He also claimed to be a singer of great renown. "When I chirp, even the finest crickets, who have spent their entire lives singing, turn green with envy." Both the flea and the grasshopper took great care to announce their impressive credentials, making it clear they considered themselves worthy of the princess's hand. The skipjack, however, said nothing, but it was rumored that he was deep in thought. The yard dog, after sniffing him, declared that the skipjack came from a distinguished family, as he was made from the breastbone of a fine goose. An old court counselor, who had earned 3 medals for keeping silent, claimed that the skipjack even had the gift of prophecy. "One can predict the severity of winter from his bones," he said, "and that is more reliable than the almanac." "I have nothing more to say," the old king declared. "I simply observe and make the best decision." At last the competition began. The flea sprang so high that no one could see him. "Did he even jump at all?" some murmured. Others insisted it was unfair to doubt him. The grasshopper leaped half as high, but straight into the king's face. The monarch frowned. "That was terribly rude," he muttered. Then came the skipjack's turn. He remained still for a long time, making people wonder if he could jump at all. "I hope he hasn't fallen ill," said the yard dog, giving him another sniff. Suddenly, tap! The skipjack made a sharp, crooked leap and landed right in the lap of the princess, who was seated on a golden stool. The king clapped his hands. "The highest jump," he proclaimed, "is the one that reaches my daughter. That, after all, is the point. But such a leap requires wit, and the skipjack has proven he has a head on his shoulders." And so, the skipjack won the princess's hand. "I jumped the highest," grumbled the flea. "But what does it matter? Let her have the goosebone and its lump of wax and bit of stick. In this world, it's not just about jumping high, one must also be seen." And with that, the flea enlisted in the military, where it is said he met an unfortunate end. The grasshopper, meanwhile, settled into a ditch to contemplate the ways of the world. "One must have substance," he mused, repeating the words over and over. And as he sang his melancholic tune, someone took note of his story. And though some claim it isn't true, well, it is in print after all.